Hey folks, John here from AlleyKat.Marketing, just showing you how to apply the graphic to the wall. So the first thing you want to do is figure out where you want to position it. We're not centering it on the wall here because there's a bend in this wall and there's a blockage for the view of the wall. So if we put it dead center, it's going to appear off center. So we want to just position it where it's going to look right. One of the biggest problems people do is they mount things too high. We want to keep it at eye level. So you can see this is top line is at my eye level. There's a couch over here, so that's going to be at eye level, but it's high enough that if there's kids in the crib here, which we'll show you at the end, they're not going to pick the letters off either. So that's the logic here. We the first thing that we do, forget this tape here for a second. That was done in preparation. First thing you do is you put a piece of tape on each end. You see how the ends are curled up, so I can still take it and I can pivot it to get it level the way that I want it. And then what I've done is I've taken a bubble level. We are running a line here, just so you know, if you've got letters with flat bottoms and letters with round bottoms, the round bottoms normally protrude below the letters with flat bottoms. Here you can see the some of the bottoms of the curves are a little bit below, but the flat parts are the level. So we just run a straight line and get it level. Then what we've done is we placed a hinge here. This is a vertical line, and you're going to see how I do this in a minute. I've just reinforced it because we're going to peel this back. We're going to flip it back, and then we're going to peel the backing paper off. We're going to use a razor knife to cut that away, and then we're going to use a squeegee to put it down. So very simple. So that's how you position it. So I've trimmed a piece of tape off here, so that helps me line it back up to get it exactly straight and level again. So when you receive your vinyl kit, it'll have a mask. This is a light type of masking tape, and we just peel it off. And notice when I do that, I pull it over 90 degrees, and I'm peeling it off. Not pulling it away from the paper, I'm peeling it back from the paper, because the vinyl is held on with this light mask. We want to keep the vinyl on the mask, but pull the paper away. So going straight back. Try and get as few wrinkles out of this as possible out of the wax backing. And if something starts to lift, just use the paper again to push it back down. You know, a little bit of a lift going on here. So just pushing it back and then just creeping it all the way back here. Okay, so I'm back to the hinge. I also placed a little piece of masking tape here just to hold this up, because the last thing you want to have it do is fold back on itself. So put that up in the wall, and you notice I'm using green painter's tape, which is not going to pull any of the paint off, because you don't want to do that in your customer's house, or especially your sister-in-law's house. Use a nice sharp knife so that we don't get a feathered end here, because we don't want to get any paper stuck underneath the vinyl as we're laying it down. Okay, we can discard that. I'm done with the knife now. Put that back in my pocket. You can use a squeegee or a credit card. I'm just going to flip this back off of here now. It gives me about my approximate alignment there. And you start from the center. And you just work your way across. Now, one thing I didn't talk about was the preparation of the wall. The wall has to be not freshly painted. It should be at least to have off gas for 2 weeks. When I get to the lines here, I'm not necessarily pressing down a lot on the blank spaces in between, but I'm pushing down where the paper is. And you see, because everything is masked together, it stays perfectly aligned. So now we're going to peel this off. That's your hinge. We're done with that. You can do the same thing that I did on the other side. Give that a quick little tear, and that'll tell me where to line up the other side again, just to make sure I'm getting good close alignment. On a wall this big, you're not going to notice if it drops by 1/8 of an inch. But we do aim for perfection. Yet to achieve it, mind you. Okay, again, going back against the vinyl, not pulling out away, so we're not lifting the vinyl off. Okay, drop that down and away. Try to keep some tension, a little bit of tension on that so it stays lined up. You just start back over where we were before. And since this is all blank space here, I'm just going to leave that, give that a push from there, from there, from there, just where the letters are. And then once more back over, make sure I'm thoroughly pressed down. Okay, so the key to this, just like it says here, is love, joy, peace, patience, and kindness. Just take your time and go slow. So again, taking the mask off is just like we were taking off the vinyl, off of the vinyl. You see this started to lift off here, so just push it back. Get a little bit of help to hold it down there. Keep pressure on it. Oh, this is matte black. This is nice. Now what I like to do is I like to go vertically and just use gravity to help me down. So one of the things that we can do is just put a tear in it, and I'll just break this off into sections. So we're going to go straight down. I've put a tear in the mask, and it'll just come down now. Just keep watching the line that you're working on. Make sure nothing is tearing off. Now, don't freak out if something does tear. We can always push it back down or cut another letter. But it's way easier to get it lined up if you just do it all in one shot, just like this. Just give it a little bit of a lift here. Again, coming straight down. Now you see I've lost my eye from my fruit. Just push that back up there. Give it a little pressure underneath to hold it down. Losing a little bit there. I'm going to give it a tear here between the words again and go straight back down. That one is done. And this, by the way, is all paper. So it's all recyclable, or you can put it in your wood stove and burn it. That one lifted a little bit there. The B, the butt. Butts give you trouble sometimes. Again, the L is starting to lift a little bit there. Now, once this has been on here for a week or so, it'll cure right up, and it's not going to go anywhere. And if you choose to redo the room, a little bit of heat with a hair dryer, and that'll lift right off. Take off your painter's tape, and there you have it. Clean up my trash. Grandbaby's t-shirt, and one more piece of tape there. Let's put the crib back and see what it looks like. Okay, Bert, take a look over there and show them what it looks like. And there you have it. That's how you apply a matte black wall graphic. Take one final look, make sure everything looks good. No bubbles, no creases, no seams. Thanks for coming.